All right, good evening. It's 6:01, so we'll call on January 10th, 2024. I'd like to call the meeting of the DeKalb Township Board of Trustees to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Bradlow,
Here.
trustee Thurman, here, trustee McNutt, here, Dr. House,
Here.
trustee King is absent, and assessor Dyer is also present.
All right, if we could stand for the pledge, please. Trustee Bradlow. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next we have approval of the agenda. Does anyone have any changes they want to the agenda as it's presented? Hearing none. All right, next item is a hearing regarding the amendment to the DeKalb Township Budget and Appropriation Ordinance. So I need to get a motion to open the hearing.
And so move.
I'll second. All those in favor, will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstaining? Okay, so the hearing is now open. Okay, so it's going to require an explanation. In front of you, I handed out this loose sleeve ordinance for the amending budget. It's a little bit different from what is in the board packet because I caught an error in it. So I'd like to walk through that so you know what that is. We'll go through the hearing then, and then one later on in the agenda, when we approve it, I'll have already reviewed this. So if you flip to the second page, or well, let me start with the first. On the bottom of the first page, you turn to page 26 in your board packet. You have the budget report for the general assistance budget. About 3/4 down the page under home relief commodities is the line item called flat grant. So if you go in the fourth column of that, you'll see that we've allocated $60,000 to that line item for this fiscal year. Everyone with me on that? Page 26. Okay. So the fourth column shows that we've allocated $60,000. With the dramatic increase of residents who are coming to us for financial assistance, I didn't set that number high enough. We have already spent, as of the end of December, we've already spent $59,879.11. So in anticipation of us having to spend more before the end of the fiscal year, that was the reason why I am presenting this budget amendment, so that we can meet our obligation to provide general assistance. So I prepared this and posted it 30 days before. It was in last month's board packet. But since that time, I noticed an error. So the first page, contractual services, this is basically where I borrowed the money from to increase the general assistance flat grant line item. Because we don't tend to use these, but we have to have them in the budget in case they do away with the Affordable Care Act. Then we need to be prepared to assist residents or general assistance recipients with some medical needs. But right now that we don't have to do that because of the Affordable Care Act. So if you turn the page, you'll see that the $35,000 that I borrowed from those line items was put into the flat grant expense to take it from $60,000 up to $95,000. The error that I found is that when I originally presented the budget back in March of 2023, those line items, I had a computation error and said that the total commodities was 144,000, where it actually should have been 194,000. So that $50,000 food household support in my Excel equation, I didn't include that, which left us with this error. So, the original budget, budget amendment, was asking to increase total commodities to 179,000. Capturing that $50,000 error, I'm actually asking for it to be increased to 229,000. Which brings our total home relief to 247,500. Any questions so far? Okay, so then I had to adjust section 2. That number was off too. It should have been 480,000, but it was 489,800. So what we're actually appropriating for general assistance is 530,000. And then that increases our total appropriations amount. So by doing this amendment, we're not only increasing the general assistance line item to be able to cover that expense for the remaining months of the fiscal year, but we're also amending the mistake that I made and that was passed with the original budget. So this does both. Once I caught this error, which was actually earlier today, I called Brad and we talked through it, and he said that this is the proper way to correct it. So I just want to be completely transparent that there was an error in the original, and the timing was kind of good that we caught this, and we can take care of it in one fell swoop. So are there any questions about that? Okay, so that was kind of the presentation of the budgetary amendments. Any board discussion to have on that?
Since it was, does that roll out the 30-day?
No, what was posted 30 days ago was a tentative ordinance amending this. So that is not the final numbers. That is something that is a starting point, and then we can make adjustments to it. Any other questions, discussion? Clerk Tillotson, if you can just make sure that you capture all this, and that would be good to have. Okay. There's no members of the public here. So can I get a motion to close the hearing?
So move.
I'll second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any abstain or oppose? Okay, the hearing is closed at 6:09. Presentations, none. Comment, none. Reports. On page 7 of your board packet, as you recall, last month I told you that I promoted Casey to the Director of General Assistance. And so one of the things that I asked her to do is every month for the board packet to prepare a report, just so that you can see what our numbers are for general assistance. So I'll walk through it with you this time, and maybe next time, just so you can kind of understand our layout here. For the month of December, we had 52 intakes. It's a combination of phone calls and walk-ins. 2 of those, then there's a breakdown of where those residents live: Cortland, DeKalb, Squaw Grove, and Sycamore. Those are townships. For general assistance, we approved and paid out for there were 24 approvals that we paid on. 17 of those were ongoing cases from previous months, and 7 of those were new folks that came into the system. 5 new people applied, so 4 were still in process of their, we were going through their application and still waiting on documents. 3 individuals had been denied, so total dollars spent was $8,710.36. There's an off number because for people who applied in November and got approved in December, it's a prorated amount, so depending on the day, that's how we come up with different figures. And then the same for emergency assistance. 3 people were approved, 6 applied, 2 were still in process, and 3 were denied. And so this $2,613. I'm not sure if that was all for shelter assistance or there was some utility assistance with that. But as a reminder, emergency assistance is for 3 purposes: shelter assistance, utility assistance, and work-related emergencies. So I just thought that that would be good for you to see what that department is doing. In case you'll be coming to a future meeting, so you'll have an opportunity to meet her. On the next page is we joined the DeKalb County Nonprofit Partnership, and so that's a program summary and a benefits of what they provide. And I just want to make sure that you all know that you are, as board trustees, that you are welcome to use any of the services, go to any of the events, you know, basically any resources they have. You are part of our membership and can access those. And then the next page is an email from Jennifer Yoakum, who is the community service coordinator for the city of DeKalb. The township, she approached me a couple of weeks ago about the migrant crisis and the city making preparations in case migrants arrive. And if you've been following it, you know that they just passed an ordinance, so trying to avoid drop-offs and, you know, without any notice. And that ordinance did pass. But as they they're making preparations in case it does happen that we have asylum seekers arrive in DeKalb. And so there's a meeting coming up. It was originally going to be Thursday, January 11th, which is tomorrow. And they got some feedback that a lot of people couldn't make it. So they have rescheduled that meeting for Wednesday, January 17th at 6 p.m. They haven't revealed the location of that.
The 17th at 8.
6 p.m. They don't know the location of that yet, but I just want to make sure that you're all aware that you're welcome to be part of that meeting, part of this discussion. Because we need to pull together a lot of resources for that. I also did check, I thought I knew the answer, but I double checked with our attorney. We cannot provide any direct assistance to asylum seekers based on their immigration status, but we can provide funds to assist with food with some of our community partners who are already doing that. But we can certainly help on our own time as well. So I just want to make sure you're aware that you are invited to that, and maybe I'll see you there. And then just some other things. On December 15th, I participated in BAC Focus Group Voluntary Action Center. They're doing a new strategic plan. So they're, you know, looking at talking with other community units of government to see what our needs are and further ways to collaborate. On the 19th of December, really interesting meeting. As you know, I've been working with the fire department about on the topic of the sheer number of calls that they get to 911 for non-emergency related needs. Lieutenant DeVille, Lieutenant
Dave.
and Deputy Chief Don, you know his last name? Don.
Berger.
Yes. So the 3 of us have been working together, and we had a meeting with the new dean of the College of Health and Human Sciences. She comes to us somewhere from the East Coast and read her biography. and a very community-minded person and experiential learning for students. So we took the opportunity to have a meeting with her, talk about some of the needs in the community, and is there a way that NIU could get more involved with some of these needs? So that led to her inviting us to a meeting with all of the department chairs in the College of Health and Human Sciences, which includes like physical therapy, speech pathology, nursing, public health. And so we had some great discussion, and these department chairs are interested in engaging students to help problem solve some of these community needs. So it's going to be interesting to see what grows out of it. But you know, if it does happen, it'll hopefully be a win-win for our community.
The new dean is Cheryl Moore.
I'm sorry, what?
The dean is Cheryl Moore, is it?
I can't remember her name. I'll think of it, but not right now. Too much pressure. So yeah, it was a really great meeting, and I expect that more of the follow-up is gonna be with the fire department. Megan, the police department social worker, was also there and talked about a lot of the things that she sees and experiences, and you know, the repeat callers and so forth. So hopefully something will come out of it. And then in just a short time, on January 23rd, we have the Secretary of State coming here again, like last time, from 10 to 12 with their mobile unit to provide services to residents. I checked with Kim today, and we have approximately 10 to 12 spots remaining. If you know anyone who needs those services, encourage them to call Kim soon too, because it's done through appointment. Any questions about any of that? That's all I have. Clerk's report,
No report.
assessor's report.
I really don't have a report. Greg did let me know that he was sorry, but he's been out on the roads a lot. 3 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday morning, and 1 o'clock in the morning last night or this morning, if you want to look at it. So he apologized, but he needed to get some sleep because with the continuation of more weather on the way in, especially Friday.
Anything else?
Nope.
Trustees reports, trustee Bradford.
I actually recently came to the knowledge that if you are a licensed childcare provider in DeKalb, and connected with 4Cs, that they will prioritize your child for mental health needs and behavioral screenings and stuff. So
Okay.
encourage providers to look into that and utilize it because it's needed.
Great. Well, hopefully we have enough providers to provide those services. Trustee Thurman.
Just the NIU, the semester begins after MLK Day on Tuesday, so you see a little bit more traffic around there.
Trustee McNutt.
Report.
All right, moving on to bill paying. Can I get a motion to approve the December audit report in the amount of $248,301.79 and the January bills to pay in the amount of $52,456.65?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Discussion? Questions about anything? Hearing none, roll call please.
Trustee Knott. Yes. Trustee Thurman.
Yes.
Trustee Bradlow.
Yes.
Supervisor Hess.
Yes.
4 ayes and 0 nays, the motion passes.
And then can I get a motion to receive, file, and approve the treasurer's December budget report?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call please.
All right, Trustee Bradlow.
Yes.
Trustee McNutt.
Yes.
Trustee Thurman.
Yes.
And Supervisor Hess.
Yes.
4 ayes and 0 nays, the motion passes.
Unfinished business, we have nothing tonight, so we'll move into new business. The first item is the budget and appropriation ordinance. So I do, because of the amendment that needs to be made to that we have some extra steps. And I thank Brad for typing them out for me. All right. So can I get a motion to approve the ordinance amending the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget and appropriation ordinance? That's number 2023-001T.
2024.
Oh, yeah, 2024, sorry.
I'll move.
A second.
Discussion. So just reminding you that we're actually amending two things, line items and totals. Or that's what was presented. So what needs to happen first is that we need to amend the ordinance to correct the computational error and increase the total commodities and total home relief for general assistance fund by 50,000 to reflect the true line item totals. So I need at this point, a motion to amend the ordinance to correct the computational error.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any discussion on that? What we're doing? Okay. Roll call for the motion to amend the ordinance, please.
Trustee Thurman.
Yes.
Trustee McNutt.
Yes.
Trustee Bradlow.
Yes.
And Supervisor Hess.
Yes.
With 4 ayes and 0 nays, it passes.
So now can I get a motion? Or now we're going to do roll call on the original motion made by trustee Bradlow, seconded by trustee Thurman, to approve the ordinance amending the fiscal year 2023 budget and appropriation ordinance as amended.
Trustee Bradlow.
Yes.
Trustee Thurman.
Yes.
Trustee McNutt.
Yes.
And Supervisor Hess.
Yes,
With 4 ayes and 0 nays, it again passes.
thank you. Next, we bring you resolution 2024-001T. Last month, as you recall, we passed a resolution to amend the policy and procedures to update it.
That's the same number.
But the first one is an ordinance, the second one's a resolution. That's okay.
Alright, yeah, you had me.
Yeah, that's sorry. And those are separate things that this is how we've typically done it. So we made those adjustments in order to accommodate the new state law for the paid leave act. Rich then did some math and cut some errors.
Yeah, basically. It broke down where we were shorting people compared to what they used to get. Some people we were shorting, some people were giving more. We fixed it all as far as the math. This is just getting it to be in line with the amount of hours that people earned prior to this new paid leave act. So now everything's balanced. Basically, they earn the same amount of time as they did before.
Yeah, it's not like they get extra time.
No, that's the problem.
Some
They
people-
were getting a couple of extra hours.
Yeah,
Some people were getting a couple of extras, some people were getting as much as 8 less, so it's all been fixed, ironed out, and now it's exactly what it
Right.
was.
and it's, a little bit further complicated because our employees work 35 hours.
Right.
And Craig's employees work 40 hours. So there has to be different math applied to different employees and
Right,
So,
all of the road.
everything was working
employees
fine
were
before the state
shorted-
put in.
We're shorted 4. If you were here less than 6 years, you benefited 2 hours, but if you were here over 6 years, you lost 8 hours. It's all been fixed with the amendment. Now it's a lot balanced. We didn't want to give more, but we didn't want to take away either.
Be right.
And now it is.
Right.
After this.
So that's why we're bringing this back to you with those further changes. So. Can I get a motion to approve resolution 2024-001T, amending DeKalb Township and Road District Personnel Policy and Procedures to update paid time off policy?
I'll second.
Okay, discussion? I don't think we need to amend it for just this one typo, but on page 54, the fourth paragraph, it should be 35. It says 40 and then it in parentheses says 35. Everywhere else in the text, it documents that the assessor and supervisors employees work 35 hours a week. So that's just a typo that Rich found today, and just want to make sure if you can notate that in the minutes. Okay, thank you. Any questions, discussion on this? Roll call, please.
Trustee Bradlow. Trustee McNutt.
Yes.
Trustee Thurman.
Yes.
Supervisor Hess.
Yes.
4 ayes and 0 nays, the motion passes.
Item C, motion for advice and consent for the appointment of the following individuals to serve on the Committee on Youth. So we have 6 individuals named. At the end of November, we had 3 information meetings that we publicized to the community in an attempt to recruit members of the Committee on Youth, so we can get that up and running again. We did it by Zoom, so we had some people participate by Zoom and then in person. And we asked we handed out applications and asked them to return an application if they would like to be considered to be on the Committee on Youth. We received 10 applications. The bylaws state that we can have 5 to 9 members. Trustee Bradlow is going to be serving as the board liaison, and in order to get it up and running again, having fewer people around the table to start with is probably the best route to go. Because they may want to take a different direction. A lot of discussion has to be had about what they want the function of this group to be. If they wanted to continue to operate as it has, which is just reviewing funding requests and then dispersing money, or if they wanted to take a different direction. So initially, we're going to appoint 5 members to it with Trustee Bradlow as the board liaison. And then Kim Barrios will be serving as a staff liaison as well. So we narrowed it down. Trustee Bradlow and I agreed that these 5 members seem like a good starting point. Is there anything you want to add to that?
There was one that I was looking over that I absolutely loved. Katrina said that she wants to use a common sense approach. And I just died at that because I really feel like we need to bring common sense back. So I think I'm gonna like her.
You'll like her. She's good.
So
Relation,
I was wondering actually, but I figured no.
not that I'm aware of, no relation.
very passionate about
It's the German
she's just, it's really great when community members step up. Of course, there's always going to be people who do it in their work role, but when community members step up and want to make a difference in their community, knowing that it's an unpaid thing, that just gets me really excited, and glad that we can provide an opportunity for them to carry out some of their passions. So as you may recall, some of you who have been here longer, there's staggering terms on the Committee on Youth in order for there not to be 5 vacancies all at once. So you'll see that some of these appointments are for a year, then we have 2 years, and then 1 3-year.
And they'd be able to run again, right?
So, can I get a motion to approve the following appointments for the Committee on Youth? Deanna Harris McCoy, with the term expiring 12/31/2024. Katrina Kreider, with the term expiring 12/31/2024. Amy Dyer, with the term expiring 12/31/2025. Dan Kenny, with the term expiring 12/31/2025. Lori Thrower, with the term expiring 12/31/2026, and Nancy Bradlow to serve in an ex officio capacity as the board liaison until replaced. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Bradlow,
Yes.
trustee Thurman,
Yes.
trustee McNutt,
Yes.
supervisor House.
Yes.
4 ayes, 0 nays, motion passes.
And the final thing under new business is, can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the regular Board of Trustees meeting of December 13th, 2023? I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstain? Okay, then the minutes are approved. The December 13th. Old business, nothing, nothing for executive session. Next regular meeting is February 14th, 2024 at 6 p.m. I will be in touch with you tomorrow to let you know about if the decennial meeting is gonna happen or not on Tuesday. With that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstain? Okay. Motion meeting is adjourned at 6:33.